Hi everyone, and welcome back to my channel. This is Susan with Blue Vinyl Stickers, and today I'm going to be talking to you about unzipping files and that you may purchase from one of the commercial sites or from Etsy or just a zipped file in general. So before we get started, let me get this big for you. This is the latest version of Silhouette software. This is the 4.1.479 Business Edition. And here are all of the zipped files that I downloaded today. Design Bundles had a nice sale, so I went and treated myself to some designs. What I want to do today is show you what is in these zipped files and how to go about using them. I've seen so many times in a lot of the forums that people do not know what to do with them. They say, I bought this file, it's zipped folder, but it won't transfer over to my software. No, unfortunately it won't. You have to unzip it first. Now, a zipped file is basically an envelope with a bunch of papers on the inside. You take and you fold those papers and compress them, and then you lick the envelope and seal it up. That basically is a zipped folder. So that's what all of these are. Now, I use a program called WinZip. WinZip has been around for ages. I've used it for probably a good 20 years, and it's nice and reliable, and it's what I use. Versions of it or utilities that unzip may come with your computer, or you may have to add them on separately. WinZip is a third-party add-on, but I trust it, and like I said, I've been using it for years. So that's what you're going to see me use right here. So we're going to come up to the Love to Craft bundle, because I know it's got a whole bunch of, or it's got probably every extension that you will be using. And an extension is the dot, whatever it is, dot JPEG, dot PNG, dot Silhouette 3. Those are extensions. An extension is basically a language that your software can understand. So I'm going to show you what your software does with each one of these extensions. So right now I'm going to right mouse click and I'm going to bring up my WinZip utility and I'm going to say unzip to folder, because I like to keep everything bundled together as opposed to just all over my screen. So I'm going to say unzip. It's going to take it a second. And here it is. It puts up the folder right here. I like to take the zipped folder and stick it inside that one, just so it's all together. Now I am going to open that folder, click on the arrow, and I'm going to open this folder again. This folder here is for, I understand, for people who use a Mac. This is for people who use a PC. That was my understanding of what that folder is. So go down here to this one, open it up, and this is what you will find on the inside of that zipped file. You will find SVGs, PNGs, SVGs, JPEGs, a DXF, an EPS, and a PDF. What do you do with all of those different languages? Well, it's not what you do with them and which one you should choose. It's what your software does with them. So what I'm going to show you is what your software does with each of them. If you've got the Designer Edition or the Business Edition, go ahead and choose the SVG format. And it will go right into your software. So let me show you real quick. I just drag and drop it over. Okay, you don't need to open your software and bring it in a different way. You can come up here to File, and then on your PC you can find that folder. You see how many different steps it's taking me, and I forget where I put it. I put it here. And then you can go to design bundles, and then to this folder, and then this folder, and to this folder, and then to this one. Okay, you see how many steps that took me to get that one folder in there? A lot. And as you see, the designer has turned their mat and their mat that they work on is a custom height and all that good stuff. And it's like, you know, I love your designs, but I don't want to be stuck with having to reformat all this stuff over here and to put it to where I want to put it, because I can come up here and I can put automatic cameo and here and see all those extra steps? No. So basically, if you just drag and drop, it puts it right to where you need it in the size you need it, and it's ready to go. I can say send, click on line, click on no color because there was no outline. So always remember to click on no color, and I can send this right over to my machine and cut this out. Okay, that's an SVG file with drag and drop. So now let me go ahead and open those files again because my computer just closed everything. So let's go ahead and open everything back up. And I am going to bring you over let's get you a brand new window so you're not so confused. Let's get a brand new window. I am going to grab a PNG file and bring it over. Okay. Now the PNG file is a picture file. That's all it is just a picture. It's not a cut file. It's not ready to cut. So if I come over here to my send panel and to my line, click on no color, all it's going to do is give me just the outline of the picture, because that's all it is a picture. So come back to design, come over to your trace panel, draw a box around it and say trace. Move this one out of the way because it's just a picture. And now when I come over here to my send panel, there it is. I just click on the red because the outlines are red, and I can send that right over to my cut machine. Okay, that's a PNG file. So let's go ahead and get rid of that one. Get rid of this one. Now, the next one they have in here is, we've already done the SVG file. The next one they have in here is the JPEG. Now, the JPEG in this one, I can tell you, is just the splash screen that they put with the bundle. So you can see what this is. If you were to take and just click on it, it would bring it up into probably your picture software, and you can actually print this out for your own records so you know exactly what's in that that file. If you like a hard copy, you can just flip through it if that's easier for you. Okay, that's all the JPEG is. You really can't use these for anything. It's hard to copy and paste with these, so you just go ahead and delete that one. Now, some files will have a JPEG with them, and you can do the same thing with the JPEG as you did with the PNG file. You can but you have to trace it before you can use it. So we're going to go ahead and grab the PDF file, and we're going to bring it over. And watch what happens. It brings up the PDF import page. And you can use a PDF for any picture you want. So if you're given a PDF, again, it's just a picture. Leave the settings here and import it as a vector. and say import. And there you go. Now, unfortunately, with this group, the only thing that they give you with the Love to Craft PDF is just this first design. You don't get any other designs with this one. So again, it's more of just a, if you click on it here and open up your PDF, when you open up your Adobe Acrobat Reader, here is what will happen. Here are all the PDFs in that file. Okay. So you can use whatever means you want. Right mouse click, depending on the version you have. This is the unpaid version of Adobe. You can use your snipping tool, highlight it, and right mouse click and say copy. Come over here to your software, right mouse click and say paste. And again, you're going to have to trace this because it is just a picture file. Okay, so that's one way to get a PDF into your software. Now, what else they've given you here is an EPS. So let's get a new folder or a new screen. Take the EPS and again, just drag it over. And as soon as it hits your screen, it's going to stop. And there it goes, and it puts it on your screen. Now, this one is all one piece. So if I want just this bottom craftologist, right mouse click, ungroup, and I will be able to pull apart if the designer has grouped them. Group, pull it apart. Right mouse click, group, pull it apart. Okay. And then right mouse click and say cut, open up a new window and paste. And there it is. Okay. Now send line. Again, I say color, and there we go. It will cut the outside line. So always when you go to your send panel, if it says no color, make sure that you have this box checked. If you don't check it, then you send it over there. Your machine doesn't see anything to cut, and so it won't cut anything. We're going to go back to the design page, and we're just going to go ahead and close that window, and close that window. Let's get a brand new window open here. And the last one we're going to pull in is the DXF. And this is the one that everybody says, okay, if you have earlier versions or if you have versions that are not the designer and not the business edition, this is the version that you want to use. But I'm going to warn you right now, this is going to take a while. So watch what happens and bear with me. And I'll try to speed this up when I go to publish this so it doesn't take as long. This is going to take about 2 to 3 minutes to pull in. So watch this. All right. Now, move this out of the way for you. If I take and highlight these, move it up here onto my mat a little bit, you can see that each one of these, let's zoom in on this one, each one of these is a file in itself. Okay, so, and you're going to see this, okay, this is not a good file. Okay, so you're going to need to come in here and See, this is part of that file. So you're going to need to really seriously clean this up before you use it. Okay, because you're going to end up with jagged edges. You're going to end up with things that are just not good. Okay. So if people say that their files are bad or corrupt, I can understand if they brought it in as this way. So highlight it. First thing we're going to do is we are going to simplify it. And you see what happens? It just goes all over the place. So undo it, edit. We are going to come up here and figure out which way the edit is going. Keep hitting your delete key. And eventually you can clean up this file if you really want to use the DXF file. But if you don't clean this up, your machine is going to go in and just cut all these little indentations. So hold your shift key down, draw a box, highlight them all, and say delete. Okay, let me do that again. Hold your shift key down, draw a box, highlight these all, and say delete. And it gets rid of all of those. Okay, come over here to this E and hold down your shift key, highlight a bunch of those, okay, and then come back and you can actually edit yourself and pull that back out. Okay. Okay, you could do this forever with DXF files. Now, you can highlight it, say make a compound path if you'd like. Okay, but we're going to make this big. And again, you're going to see all of these bad edit points. Okay, if you were to go in here, your machine would be going in and out, and it would be tearing your vinyl to pieces. So we're going to get rid of this. Let's come back over to a new window, and let me show you real quick. You pull up the SVG file, and all of those bad edit points are not in the SVG file. Okay. It's a nice, clean cut file, and your machine will like it. Okay. I would hit the edit points. Ungroup it first. And see how many points are there. If there's a whole bunch, then come up here to simplify and get rid of them. Your machine will like you a lot better. It will run a lot smoother. It won't be all jaggedy as it runs, and you won't wonder why your machine is just jerking all over the place. Okay, because every one of these points is someplace that your machine will stop. Okay, if it is stopping at each one of these points, like it did before, like here, it'll go my little there. Anyways, this will be a much cleaner cut than a DXF file. So hopefully that has given you some enlightenment on how to use these zipped files and the type of extension that you actually want to use with your machine. So that's it for now. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.